Metro Pacific Investment Corporation is an investment holding company which engages in real estate and infrastructure project investment. It is an investment and management firm with stakes in water utility, real estate, and healthcare companies in the Philippines. It operates through the following segments: power, toll operations, water, rail, and other businesses. The power segment involves in the distribution, generation, and supply of electricity. The toll operation segments engage in the maintenance and operation of toll facilities. The water segment engages in provision of water and sewerage services. The rail segment engages in maintenance and construction of the rail transit. The other business segment represents operation of subsidiaries involved in the provision of services, including real estate investment and operations. First business unit is the Manila Electric Company, or also called as Meralco. Meralco is a publicly traded power utility controlled by its shareholders. It is currently the Republic of the Philippines' largest electric distribution utility, serving nearly a quarter of the country's estimated 94 million population. Some of the services of the Manila Electric Company are the peak-of-peak program, which are the hours of the day when demand for electricity and energy costs are high, while off-peak periods are when less plants require electricity and costs are low. Next is the net metering. It is designed to help to lower your electricity bills by allowing you to export unused or excess electricity generated from your solar panels back to Meralco. Next is Power Profile. Provides you with the relevant operation data, offers you control, and gives you the power to make informed decisions. Next is the Power Consult. 2-hour planning session and conducted to discuss expansion plans and how Meralco can align its long term to contribute to the realization, the vision of the company. And lastly, energy services. Also, Meralco's products and services include power generation and other services. Their services are classified into three categories when they're in power: electric distribution, power generation, and retail electric supply. The Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation is a Philippine-based investment holding company that operates tollways. The product and services includes managing, constructing, and operating toll facilities and expressways across the three major Philippine toll road systems. It constructed and operated some of the Philippine major expressways such as the North Luzon Expressway or the NLEX, the Subic-Clark-Tarlac Expressway or the SCTEX, Manila-Cavite Toll Expressway or the Cavitex, the Cavite-Laguna Expressway or the CALAX, the NLEX to SLEX Connector Road, the Cebu-Cordova Link Expressway or the CCLEX, and the Cavitex C5 South Link. Global Business Power Corporation is a significant independent power generator in the Visayas, having operations on the islands of Mindanao and Mindoro. Global Business Power is one of the few companies that can provide adaptable energy solution for fluctuating power needs, thanks to its diverse power producing facilities that can deliver base, intermediate, peak load, and ancillary support. Global Business Power products and services include power generation, wholesale electricity sales, retail electricity sales that offers a variety of cost-effective service alternatives, and flexible plans that are customized to the company's specific power needs. Also, Global Business Power delivers value-added services on top of bespoke energy solution to enable contestable customers to maximize business growth. The ancillary services and co-trading, which the Global Business Power trades thermal coal and consumable commodities for wholesale and retail needs, as well as chartering freight barges and vessels. Light Rail Manila Corporation focuses on light rail transit construction, operation, and maintenance. For the private and public sectors, the company provides development, repair, management, and other related services involving railways and railroad projects, as well as other transportation systems. Customers in the Philippines are served by the LRMC, and the Light Rail Transit Line Number 1 or the LRT1 is one of their products of the Light operation. Metro Pacific Hospitals is the largest private hospital operator with a portfolio of 18 hospitals, supported by two allied health colleges, a growing network of primary care clinics, cancer care center, and central clinical laboratory. Metro Pacific Hospital provides services that every Filipino has access to the entire spectrum of quality and affordable healthcare services. Under Metro Pacific Hospital services and products include hospitals like Makati Medical Center, Davao Doctors Hospital, Cardinal Santos Medical Center, Riverside Medical Center, and many more. Colleges like the Davao Doctors Colleges and Riverside College Incorporated. And under Metro Pacific Hospital, also the other services like cancer care centers, clinics, and central clinical laboratory. Manila Water Services Incorporated is the water and wastewater provider for the west zone of the metropolitan Manila area, which includes 17 cities and municipalities. It is the Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System agent and contractor. Manila offers water services that provide clients with a pipe-in water supply that will fill the Department of Health's Philippine national standards for drinking water. Also, they provide sewerage and septic services that can maintain private septic tanks and use the free septic tank cleaning service for the customers. Additionally, Maynilad also offers water supply and facilities management, wastewater management, state management, utility management service, project management, feasibility study, and pipe laying.
In running a business, you'll encounter a lot of risks, and one of it is what we call the business risk. So, business risk refers to a threat to the company's ability to achieve its financial goals. So, for number two, for each business unit of MPI, provide an example of business risk it faces and then describe an example of a control that could be used to reduce the business risk your group has identified. So for the first business unit, the Manila Electric Company or Meralco, the business risk identified is the poor maintenance of company's facilities and equipment. This business risk can affect the performance of the service provider and also can cause inconvenience to its consumers. So for the control, investing in its innovation would be highly recommended as it is entirely for the smoother and more efficient service that the firm wishes to guarantee its valued customers. So, for the second business unit, Metro Pacific Tollways, the business risk identified is a huge decline in revenue due to reduced traffic caused by changing fuel prices, alternative means of transport, existing alternative routes, and the movement restrictions during prolonged periods of quarantine. So, since the business risks identified are natural or beyond one's control, here's the suggestion of our group for the business to carefully determine and select new road project rates based on traffic forecast. This can help them in controlling the risk of declining revenue. So for the third business unit, the Maynilad Water Services Incorporated, the business risk identified is the inability to access adequate water supplies or services to effectively manage the company's operations. So to avoid hearing complaints from the consumers and to give them the best service that we can, it is suggested for the company to implement the necessary water infrastructure enhancements to meet the supply requirements. Another control is to develop alternative water sources to ensure water security for the users. For the fourth business unit, the Global Business Power Corporation or GBP, the business risk identified is the failure to maintain or rehabilitate power generation assets can impair operating performance. For the control, for the company to operate more systematically, there is a need for efficient maintenance, and performing efficient maintenance may require innovation, the use of modern technology and methods, and the highly educated staff. For the fifth business unit, Metro Pacific Hospitals, the business risk identified is patient's failure or unwillingness to pay hinders a more efficient and effective service using upgraded facilities and better equipment. So, for the control, the risk can be reduced by ensuring that the company understands their target market and by tailoring the enhancements they make to the financial capabilities of their target market. For the sixth and the last business unit, the Light Rail Manila Corporation, the business risk identified is the competition in the form of carpooling services as well as ride hailing applications such as Uber and Grab. We all know that a ride that is free of delay is an attractive option. So, what will the company do to attract its customers? So, investing in a more advanced method such as automated and predictive systems are both good ideas. It will result in fewer delays and breakdowns, as well as better forecasting, routing, and scheduling.
For each business unit, categorize its strategy as being focused on. Justify your answer why you identified such strategy. You might find it helpful to look into individual annual reports of each business unit. For now, before we identify the business strategy of each business unit, let us first identify what is the three business strategies. First is customer intimacy. This strategy, which is focused on the needs of customers, wherein the company aligns their missions and goals to meet those needs. Next is operational excellence. This strategy involves delivering or providing goods and services to customers more conveniently and at a lower price compared to its competitors. It also involves lower operational risk, lower operating costs, and increase in revenue relative to its competitors. Lastly is the product leadership. This strategy involves providing higher quality of products than its competitors. Thus, it is a competitive strategy which aims to continuously bring superior products to the market. Now, let's move on to the first business unit, which is Meralco, or known as Manila Electric Company. In the company's mission and vision statement, they have stated that the entity aims to be a world-class energy solutions provider wherein they would provide its customers the best value energy solutions reliably, affordably, superbly, and sustainably. Based from its mission and vision, it shows that the company utilizes operational excellence since most of its objectives could be achieved through this strategy. Furthermore, the company continuously innovates in order to improve its operations to achieve a lower operational cost while providing better customer experience. Now moving on to the second business unit, which is Metro Pacific Tollways. This company utilizes customer intimacy strategy, wherein the entity provides infrastructures based on the needs of its customers. The entity aims to bring good life to the people by enabling them the freedom of journey and making every region accessible through its mobility infrastructures, which was emphasized in their corporate profile. Furthermore, one of its corporate values is customer focus, which also shows that the company utilizes the customer intimacy strategy. Now moving on to the next business unit, which is GBP, or known as Global Business Power Corporation. The entity uses the product leadership strategy, wherein the corporation aims in becoming a total sustainable energy solutions provider through diversified technologies that include renewable energy sources by delivering energy sources beyond power generation and incorporating innovation at the heart of its strategy for the growth of its business. This entails that the corporation would continuously innovate its operations to provide high quality energy services to its customers, which highlights their product leadership. Now, the next business unit is Light Rail Manila Corporation. The entity utilizes the customer intimacy strategy, wherein the company provides safe, reliable, efficient, and comfortable journey for the commuters through the implementation of management systems that are geared towards customer satisfaction. This entails that the company aims to prioritize the needs and demands of the customers to provide them with better public transportation. Furthermore, one of the core values of the company is customer focus, which highlights their strategy to understand and meet, if not exceed, their customer expectations. Now, the next business unit is the Metro Pacific Hospitals. The entity utilizes the operational excellence strategy due to the fact that most of its capital is used to renovate or expand its infrastructures, upgrade medical equipment, develop new services, and tap into new technologies. This would improve its operational efficiency and lowering its operational costs. This would provide better, affordable healthcare services to its customers. Now for the last business unit, which is Maynilad, or also known as Maynilad Water Services. The entity utilizes the operational excellence strategy, which were highlighted from their vision and mission statement. They have stated that they are the leading water solutions company in the Philippines, wherein they would provide safe, affordable, and sustainable water. In line with this, their goals could be achieved through developing their operations, wherein they would lower the operational costs while providing their customers with safe, affordable, and sustainable water relative to its competitors. Thus, to achieve its vision and mission, the entity would focus on their operations efficiency to continue to be the leading water solutions company in the Philippines.
For question number 4, we were tasked to identify one corporate social responsibility program of the MPI and discuss whether it is a good program or not. We were also tasked to provide suggestions on how to improve such program and the reason behind said suggestion. The corporate social responsibility program that we chose is the Support for COVID-19 Frontliners initiative, which was done in honoring the personal sacrifices and talents of frontliners, to which the MPIF has donated over 4.7 million worth of virus specimen collection tubes, PPEs such as nitrile gloves, goggles, and coveralls, and vitamins to the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine and the Philippine Genome Center. 200 PPEs and a total of 100 boxes of crucible and 10 tulip tabletop water filters were also donated to Our Lady of Lourdes Hospital. The company procured 1,000 PPE kits with surgical masks, N95 masks, disposable head caps, disposable shoe covers, disposable coveralls, disposable surgical gowns, and anti-fog goggles to be donated to several hospitals and healthcare centers within the region. This corporate social responsibility program that the MPI has organized is a support initiative for COVID-19 frontliners focused primarily on the donation of essential materials such as personal protective equipment or PPEs, surgical masks, and other healthcare paraphernalia. In its purpose of being a corporate social responsibility program, MPI deems this as a good program given this invokes social and active involvement within its stakeholders in the continuance of COVID-19 response vital to the survivability of today's world. With this, MPI is able to integrate social participation within its business operations, directly incorporating contributions and aid from stakeholders who also wish to take part in such a promising initiative. Since this initiative is directed towards the improvement of the welfare of COVID-19 frontliners, the corporate social responsibility is manifested in that it recognizes the efforts of these said individuals in putting an ultimate end to the pandemic. It recognizes as well the necessity to preserve the working conditions of these individuals in order to ensure that measurements in operating these health facilities are maintained as these continue to be of service to the public.
For the last question, after going over the annual report of MPI, is the document purely a financial accounting document or not? The annual report of Metro Pacific Investments Corporation contains more than just financial accounting documents. The annual report also provided management accounting documents that will help the internal users like shareholders and employees in decision making. It stated how the MPIC operates its business. For example, how they responded to the obstacles brought by the pandemic. The report contains not just information about their subsidiary companies, but also the performance of their related parties. They have also forecasted the possible result of their future operations, as well as how to mitigate its various potential risks. It also revealed its different legal proceedings.